Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you have watched my last two videos, you probably know I took the IELTS exam on July 1st this year and got a 7.5 in academic writing. Today, I'm going to share with you guys exactly how I answered the task 2 question I got in the exam. So the focus of this video will be on task response. I can't emphasize enough how important the task response is. You won't have a chance to get a 7 if you fail in task response, no matter how good your grammar and vocabulary are. Let me show you an example. Jumbo joined our VIP membership and got a 7.5 in writing. But before joining us, she was actually stuck at 6.5 twice. This is the essay she posted in our 3-day challenge community. As you can see, her English is so good. There are only a few grammar issues in her essay. Can you believe it? Someone whose English is so good could only get a 6.5. Why? Because good English plus weak task response doesn't equal a 7. You can get only a 6.5 at most if you are weak in task response. After she fixed her problems with task response, she quickly improved her writing score to a 7.5. I'm sharing with you Champo's story because I want you to understand how important the task response is. For grammar and vocabulary, it isn't about using super complicated sentence structures and super fancy vocabulary. When it comes to grammar and vocabulary, the most important thing is not to produce errors, not to make mistakes. Don't worry about repeating a word a couple of times. I repeated some words a few times, but still got a 7.5. Alright, let's jump right into today's lesson and be strong in task response. This is the question I got in the exam. So after you get the question, the first thing you should do is to highlight all the keywords in the question because we want to address all parts of the question. I can't emphasize enough how important it is to address all parts of the question. If you ignore any parts of the question, I'm pretty sure you won't be able to get a 7. Now, let's read the question and highlight all the keywords in this question. Transporting goods and people pollutes the environment. Some people believe that government should be responsible for this issue, while others believe it is individuals' responsibility. Discuss both these views and give your own opinion. In order to address all parts of the question, you must know what this issue refers to. This issue refers to the issue that transporting goods and people pollutes the environment, right? That is to say, this issue actually refers to the entire first sentence. So the first sentence is actually very, very important. Let's highlight all the keywords in the first sentence. Note that it says transporting goods and people. That is to say, we need to address not only transporting goods, but also transporting people. If you only discuss goods or if you only discuss people, then you don't address all parts of the question. And of course, we also need to address the environment in our essay. So we have identified all the keywords in the question, but don't start writing the essay yet. Before we write, it's best to plan out the 2 body paragraphs first. Believe me, you can write much faster if you plan out the 2 body paragraphs first, because planning helps you avoid rewrites. You know you are doing the right thing when you see other people are so busy typing while you are just sitting there planning. So my opinion is that I think individuals should be responsible for the issue. If you've watched my older videos, you probably already know in body paragraph 1, we discussed the side that we disagree with. That is to say, we discuss this side, right? We discuss why some people think government should be responsible for the issue. So we first discuss why some people think so. And then we also need to give our opinion. We need to explain why we disagree with these people. So these people think government should be responsible for the issue probably because they think individuals have already paid the taxes. So taxes is the main idea here. Next, we need to continue to plan. We need to make sure that we can actually develop this idea into a full paragraph, right? So individuals have already paid the taxes. So what? So they have already fulfilled their role as citizens. What about governments? by receiving the tax money, governments have the responsibility to make good use of this money, right? So yeah, I think I can develop the idea of taxes into a full paragraph. For a discuss both views essay, we actually don't need to write a lot when we develop the main idea, because later we will also explain why we disagree with these people. So for me, I know that I can reach 250 words by only writing 2 sentences after topic sentence. I know it works for me. Now, why I disagree? I disagree because if individuals don't need to be responsible for the pollution they cause just because they have paid taxes, they won't be very cautious about the negative impact that their daily activities have on the environment, right? So yeah, this ideas works. Before we continue, let me just quickly mention that we are hosting a 3-day writing task 2 challenge. The link is in the description. Just take a look. Now, the second body paragraph. So in body paragraph 2, we discuss the side that we agree with, right? That is to say, we discuss this side. We first discuss why other people think so, and then we give our opinion by explaining why I agree with them. They think individuals should be responsible for the issue probably because they think individuals are the cause of the pollution. Individuals cause the pollution, so they should be responsible for it. And I don't think I will have problem developing it because I can just use examples. People cause pollution when they shop online, or people cause pollution when they use their private cars, right? Next, I need to think of why I agree with these people. I agree with these people because only when individuals are held responsible for the pollution they produce will they do their best to reduce their carbon footprint, right? So I have planned out the 2 body paragraphs. Now I'm going to write them. You can still write the 2 body paragraphs first, even if you are taking the paper-based test. So this viewer took the paper-based test. She left roughly 4 to 5 empty lines to write the intro and wrote it later. So if you are taking the paper-based test, you just need to leave some space for the intro and write it later, okay? Now, let's start writing the first body paragraph. So in this paragraph, we discuss this side, right? Make sure not to start your paragraph with a sentence like this. On the one hand, some people believe that government should take responsibility for reducing the pollution caused by the transportation of goods and people. So this sentence paraphrasing the original without stating the main idea, taxes. We need to include our main idea, taxes, into our topic sentence, something like this. On the one hand, some people may claim that government should take responsibility for the issue in question because individuals have already paid the taxes. This topic sentence introduces the main idea, taxes, to readers. And here we have a very useful expression. So here we don't need to say take responsibility for the pollution caused by transporting goods and people. We don't need to be so wordy. We can simply use the issue in question. In question means being discussed. So the issue in question means the issue that is being discussed. What is the issue that is being discussed? The issue that is being discussed is, of course, the issue that transporting goods and people pollutes the environment, right? The whole essay is about this issue, so it's pretty clear what this issue in question refers to. Next, let's develop this topic sentence. So when you develop your topic sentence, make sure that you stay focused on only one idea. That is to say, you stay focused on only the main idea, taxes, okay? Don't introduce new ideas. Like if you list 2 ideas in one paragraph, then neither of your ideas will be fully developed. We stay focused on only the idea, taxes, and fully develop this idea, okay? And we also need to address all parts of the question. That is to say, we need to address transporting goods, transporting people, and the environment. Now let's develop it. So individuals have already paid the taxes. So what? So they have already fulfilled their role as citizens, right? By contributing a portion of their income to taxation schemes, individuals have already fulfilled their role as citizens. But we also need to discuss governments, right? Why do governments should take responsibility for this issue? Governments collect money from taxpayers, then of course they should make good use of the tax money they have received, right? As recipients of tax money, governments are obligated to make good use of it. Sounds like a good explanation, but if you stop here, then you don't address all parts of the question. So far, we haven't discussed transporting goods, transporting people, and the environment at all, right? So what we can do is to explain, make good use of tax money in the context of the environment. Government should use this money to improve the environment, right? Governments are obligated to make good use of it by improving public transportation and promoting electric vehicles to reduce the pollution resulting from transporting goods and people. So this paragraph is not particularly about transporting goods or particularly about transporting people. It's about both. It's about transporting both. And as you can see, we can actually write more by addressing all parts of the question. We probably won't be able to read 250 words without the red text. Now let's continue. We need to explain why we disagree. And when you explain why you disagree, make sure that you continue to talk about taxes. Everything in this paragraph has to be relevant to taxes, okay? So you just need to find a way to talk about taxes. However, I think if individuals do not need to be responsible for this pollution simply because they are taxpayers, they may not be cautious about the negative impact their daily activities have on the environment. Now, this paragraph is done. It focuses on only one idea. It focuses on taxes, right? Everything I write is about taxes. When I discuss individuals, it's about taxes. When I discuss governments, it's about taxes. And when I explain why I disagree, it's also about taxes. And the paragraph also addresses all these keywords, right? This paragraph is done. As you can see, I didn't use any fancy vocabulary. I want to clarify that I didn't use taxation schemes and recipients in the exam. I actually didn't know the term taxation schemes. I just used very simple expressions like tax revenue and something like by receiving tax money, governments are blah, 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 blah. Is there any vocabulary in this paragraph that you don't know? No, right? I used very basic vocabulary, but the paragraph I wrote in the exam probably contains only a couple of very small errors. That's why I was able to get a 7.5. Now let's move on to the second body paragraph. So in this paragraph, we discuss this side, right? Again, don't start your paragraph with a topic sentence like this. On the other hand, it can be argued that individuals should bear the responsibility for the pollution in question. This actually isn't a topic sentence because it doesn't contain a topic. It doesn't contain the main idea, cause. We need a topic sentence that introduces the main idea, cause. Individuals are the cause of the pollution. Something like this. On the other hand, it can be argued that the pollution in question is mainly caused by individuals. This is a good topic sentence because it introduces the main idea, cause, right? Now, let's develop this topic sentence. I don't think it's even possible to use abstract reasons to explain why individuals are the cause of the pollution. Can you explain it? At least I can't. But it's okay. Remember, if you have trouble using abstract reasons to develop your main idea, you can simply use examples to support it. And this kind of example is so easy to come up with. Individuals create pollution when they shop online or when they use private cars, right? So I'm not going to write any reasons. I will just provide an example. Consider those who frequently shop online. The products they order often have to travel long distances to arrive at their door, creating a large amount of carbon emissions in the process. Does this example explain why individuals are the cause of the pollution? Yes, it does. Individuals are the cause because they shop online, and the products they ordered have to travel long distances to arrive at their door, and this creates emissions. So this is relevant to the main idea, cause. But have we addressed all parts of the question? No, we haven't. So this example is about transporting goods. What about transporting people? We haven't discussed transporting people. It's easy. Let's just add another example. The same is true for those who opt to use private cars instead of public transportation to commute. Now we have addressed both transporting goods and transporting people, and the two examples are both relevant to the main idea cause, right? Now let's explain why we agree with these people. I agree with this argument because only when people are held accountable for their environmental impact will they do their best to reduce their carbon footprint. Is the why I agree part still relevant to the main idea cause? Yes, it is. I didn't directly use the word cause, but I used the expression their environmental impact to express the idea cause. Their environmental impact means roughly the same as they are the cause of the issue, right? Now, we've finished both of the body paragraphs. I think what's tricky about this question is that we need to address both transporting goods and transporting people, which I did successfully. That's why I got a 7.5. I know I'm being wordy, but I just want to say it again. Addressing all parts of the question is very important. You won't be able to get a 7 if you ignore any part of the question. Now, let's write the introductory paragraph. So when it comes to the introductory and the concluding paragraphs, the goal is to finish them as quickly as possible because we want to save some time for checking the essay, right? One thing I can guarantee is that you won't be able to finish the intro very quickly if you paraphrase the whole thing, if you paraphrase every single sentence in the question. So in my older videos, I talk about we can just use a template sentence to introduce the topic of the essay. Something like this. There are conflicting views on whether governments or individuals should take responsibility for the pollution generated by the transportation of goods and people. So in the exam, I was able to quickly introduce the topic of the essay by using a template sentence like this. However, I was stressed out when I was writing my opinion. I believe individuals should be held accountable for this issue because they are the ones who cause it. I have already used responsibility, responsible, and accountable a couple of times in the two body paragraphs. Here, I just used them again. I was stressed out. I was just sitting there for 3 minutes just thinking how I could avoid repeating responsibility and accountable. I don't want a paragraph like this. Fortunately, I realized I could actually just paraphrase the first sentence, right? As you can see, the first sentence doesn't contain words like responsibility or responsible. If we just paraphrase the first sentence, we don't need to worry about repeating responsibility, right? And the first sentence is actually very easy to paraphrase. We just need to change the verb transport to the noun transportation. The transportation of goods and people generates pollution. That's it. That's how I avoid repeating responsibility. Remember, the thing you have to do in the intro is to state your opinion. You need to clearly state your opinion, okay? As long as you clearly state your opinion, you will be fine. You can be flexible about the other parts of the introductory paragraph. Next, let's give our opinion. I believe individuals rather than government should be held accountable for this issue. And finally, let's state the main idea of the second body paragraph, because they are the ones who cause it. I included only the main idea of the second body paragraph and not the main ideas of both of the two paragraphs in the introductory paragraph because I want to finish it as quickly as possible, okay? I don't want to waste my time on the intro. Finally, the concluding paragraph. Remember, it's very important that you clearly state your opinion again in the concluding paragraph. And because this is the concluding paragraph, it's best that we state both of the main ideas instead of just the main idea of the second body paragraph. In conclusion, although individuals have already paid taxes, I think they themselves are the cause of the pollution created by transporting goods and people, and therefore should bear the responsibility for this pollution. I want to emphasize that it's very important you use words like I think or I believe to make it clear that you are actually giving your opinion. So we have finished the entire task 2 essay, right? Next, go directly to task 1 and write your task 1 report. After you finish your task 1 report, go back to task 2 and check your task 2 essay. It's very important that you check your entire task 2 essay. You may be surprised at how many mistakes you make if you check your essay. I remember I corrected like 10 spelling errors, and I also corrected some small grammar errors. And I also managed to simplify one sentence to make it easier to read. I didn't have time to check my task 1 report though, but it's okay. Task 1 is not that important. So in short, I got a 7.5 by addressing all parts of the question and making everything I wrote relevant to the 2 main ideas and the question. That's it for this video. Don't forget to check out our 3-day writing task 2 challenge. The link is in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. See you soon.